Today we're going to be making a heart Valentine sign using this tray from Dollar Tree. It's also going to be using 3 of these hearts. This was a welcome sign. The sign kind of hung like this, and it had the word welcome on it. Each heart had a different letter. 3 of them had these little pieces of burlap with a letter sticker with goo gobs of glitter, and the other 4 pieces had a piece of like paper over it with a glittery letter on it. I went ahead and peeled the letters off to the best of my ability. There's still a little glitter there, but I went and peeled those off, and I'm only going to use 3 of them, and the others I'll save for another project. And of course, you know, it's just like that little cardboard I don't even know what this is, if it's just a really thick cardboard, if it's MDF, but you know, most of the Dollar Tree signs are made of this pressed product. So I'm going to go ahead and use 3 of them, and you've probably seen something similar on Pinterest. Maybe if you're in a crafting group, somebody's posted something. So basically all I'm going to do is line up the 3 hearts in the tray, stick them on, but before I do that, I'm going to put a pattern on each of these hearts. Now, because this is such a brilliant red, I didn't want to put red or pink on these hearts, and I was thinking, I have this shelf liner that I've purchased from the Dollar Tree, and this is the vinyl paper that they have. It's the black glitter. This shelf liner and this one also were found at Dollar Tree. This one I found more recently than this one, but I think they carry this particular flower pattern in most stores. I have seen it in 2 or 3 of the different stores I go to. I have only seen this pattern once, so I made sure to grab a couple of them because I really liked the black and white pattern. I thought it was super cute. So I'm thinking about doing this, and then maybe just the black glitter. And I know maybe you don't like black decor for Valentine's Day. And I'm not trying to have any kind of negative statement about Valentine's Day. I just think that this black will contrast nicely with this brilliant red. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to stick it to the top of this, cut them out, and then we'll attach it to the tray itself. So we'll get started. And I want to find a cute spot. I've used it for other things. You can see I actually cut a section out because I wanted that specific section for something. So I think I want this section right here for one of the hearts. I think it'll be really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and just like cut out that section so that I can line it up. I have my little X-Acto knife box here. This little skinny one happens to be my favorite, whether it's the right one to use or not. My opinion is if it does what I need it to do, it is the right one. And if you want to cut this out differently to be less wasteful, that's fine. I do use these little bits and pieces in different crafts. So this will not go to waste. I just want a specific design in the center here. So I will just put this away and save it for another craft. Ironically, I've never used it to line a shelf. I've only used it for crafting. I think it's too pretty to line my shelf with it because no one's going to see the shelf. It's in the closet, and you know, it's not very pretty. So I'm going to line the heart up the way I want it. Which side do I think I'll stick it to that side. I decided it'll go this way. I'm going to unstick the backing. I'm actually going to lay this down, kind of eyeball where I want it. I'm shaking the entire table while I'm smoothing this. I apologize. And I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife to cut out now. If you were using a Mod Podge technique, maybe you have some really pretty paper, maybe even some like leftover Christmas paper that wasn't necessarily Christmassy but maybe had the colors you like, you could do that. You could use a napkin. There's a lot of wonderful napkin techniques that you could use. Some scrapbook paper, that's what I was trying to think of. If you had scrapbook paper that you liked, you could use that with a glue stick or some Mod Podge. That could definitely be adorable. Alright, so there's one heart. Going to use a regular nail file to just kind of file down some of the sections that I couldn't get with the X-Acto knife or couldn't get close enough. So you could use your sanding block, you could use sandpaper. I find that the nail file is easier to maneuver for something like this. It's easy to hold, it's easy to run across it. It works for me. If it doesn't work for you, by all means, get some sandpaper, get a sanding block, whatever works for you. All right, now I'm going to try this one, which I haven't used yet. It's brand new in the packaging until just before I started filming this video. So I think I'm going to use one of these squares as my guide. Make sure you can get that in the video. Alright, and then there's that. I didn't center it as well as I probably should have or could have, but I think it's cute. Actually, I'm gonna probably put that one up there. And now we're gonna get the black vinyl, the black glitter vinyl. The nice thing about this glitter is it doesn't come off. So it's in that paper, and I am 100% okay with that because I love the look of glitter. I just don't like that glitter gets everywhere. If I put that one there, that one down there, and then that one in the center, that's cute. I might have to redo this one though because it's really off center and that will bother me. To spare you from the indecisive nature of a Libra, I went ahead and made some decisions off camera. I redid the contact paper on this one so that it lined up better. In addition to being a Libra, I also have a little bit of OCD, so having it misaligned would have driven me crazy, even if it's just a decor piece. I did save the heart. I was able to stick it back on here, and I might be able to use that for something else, maybe not in the heart shape, but maybe I can cut out this little center for something. So now I've got my hot glue gun warming up, and I'm actually just going to hot glue these down to the plastic tray. Again, this is a almost complete Dollar Tree project. The trays from the Dollar Tree, these hearts were a part of a sign that actually had 7 of these hearts. It said welcome. That was from the Dollar Tree. The vinyl used on, well, the vinyl paper here and the shelf liner on this one and this one, also the Dollar Tree. And this little heart is not from the Dollar Tree. This one, I think it came from Hobby Lobby last year. It may have come from Walmart. I'm not 100%. But it was in a pack of other little foam hearts with some glitter, and some of them had some sayings. I'm going to put this heart in the center of that heart to break up this black. Since this is black and white, this is black and white. I didn't want this to be just all black. And as soon as my glue gun is ready to go, I'm just going to glue these down. And this is a sticker. It's got an adhesive back. I'm probably going to just put a little dollop of glue there also, just to ensure it'll stick. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and apply these. Our glue gun is ready. I'm going to start with this bottom one. Let's see. Get some of this schmutz out of there. I'm going to just put some glue down, line her up the way I want it, and press it down. Oh, also off camera while I was deciding, I went ahead and took a black magic marker, I think it was a Sharpie, just a black Sharpie, and I colored the edge of this. This is just an example of one that I didn't use. It's got this like taupey brown color, and I thought it stood out a little too much, so I went ahead and just put a little black on there so that it would not stand out as much. I did it to all 3 of them, so I think that kind of helps disguise the side a little. Alright, and now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put the flower on the top. I want to line it up so that the top of the heart is touching the top of this, the point was touching this, and then I'm going to center the black one on that. That's good. Oh no, I'm out of glue and I didn't grab more glue. Shoot. Well, this one might not stick very well. Oops, I'm about to do it the wrong way. Another glue stick. I'm going to turn this back around just so I can eyeball it better. When I place this, there's extra space here than there is here. I didn't center it quite as well. So I'm going to center this here. This bottom one just gave me a bunch of problems. take this little sticky foam heart sticker and put some hot glue in the center. Probably doesn't need it. Well, I'm gonna do it anyways. Place this in the center here. Give it a squish. That's cute. Alright. This is just going to be I guess it's going to lean up against something. So if I wanted to hang it, I just take a little bit of, I guess I could use a pipe cleaner or some jute twine or something and I could hang it. But like I said, this is just going to sit on a shelf. So it does not need a hanger. And that's just a quick little Valentine decor piece. I'm going to be making a wreath out of this heart-shaped Dollar Tree frame. It is the 13.2 heart-shaped wreath ring is what it's called. And I'm going to be doing my favorite style wreath, which is the pull-through method, and my favorite mesh from, you guessed it, the Dollar Tree. It is the red. I think in a previous video I might have mentioned that I had only seen the red last 4th of July, but I was wrong. As I was going through my stash, I found this red and it's got hearts on it, so that makes me believe that this was from last Valentine's Day, 2021. I'm sorry, 2022. I'm forgetting that it is now 2023. But this is from last Valentine's Day. I'm pulling the whole 3 yards off of the roll. And I'm going to be putting it into the shape here. When I did this previously on a round wreath ring, I was able to do 2 layers. Here's the round one that I've done previously. I was able to put the mesh in this section and this section, but that's because this had more rings. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The heart only has 3. I won't be able to do the double. I'll only be able to do this section because it will come up and around on each side. I am going to try to make it as full as possible. So I'm going to use the entire 3 yards in this section here to see how that looks and how full it is. If I need to add more, I will, but for now I'm just going to put it in the little section here and see how full it is. So when you have this, pull it all the way off the roll. You're just going to fold it in half like so. From the back of the wreath ring, well, the wreath heart, you're going to fish one side of the fold up on one side of the bar and the other side on the other side of the bar. And you're going to make it even and just pull and tug. So pull up and then tug it together. Just up. And while you're pulling it up, just make sure you're keeping your sides even. And I just let it kind of run off the table. You won't be able to see that in the camera frame, but I let it just hang off the side of the table. So again, up and then scrunch. And I will just continue this for this whole section. I want it to be as tight as possible since I cannot do another layer because of the way the wreath is constructed, the wire wreath ring. So I want to make this as full as possible so that hopefully I don't see the black bars. Now you could spray paint this. Just keep pulling the ends up, keeping them even, and scrunching them together. You do have to keep a decent amount of pressure on it, just so if you let it go, it'll just kind of, you know, go everywhere. So I've got this hand holding the bulk of it, and this hand pulling up and over, scrunching it back a little bit just to make sure that I've got it nice and tight. Checking your even, making sure these are even on each side of the bar, and just keep scrunching. All right, so that is the full 3 yards. I'm just gonna open it up. You'll see the center coming through, but once I kind of arrange it a little better, I don't think it'll be as noticeable. It's all kind of bunched up there, so I just want to fix the back so it looks a little nicer. You can't really, when you're pulling it through, you can't really be very neat and orderly back here, so when you're done you can come through and just make sure that you've got it all situated the way you want it. If you want to secure it, you can do so with a pipe cleaner. You can use a zip tie, and what you would do is you would just fish a zip tie through the end here and secure it down. You could potentially also use some hot glue. Because I do tend to reuse things, I'm just going to leave it as is, and it's just going to go in my own decor for the holiday, for Valentine's Day. But I think that looks pretty cute for that section. Now I'm going to go ahead and get another roll, use that entire roll for this section, and then repeat here and here, 1 roll per section, and then here and here I'm going to split a roll in half and put 1 here and 1 here to see how full it'll make it. So I'm just going to continue on. If I can get the packaging open. There we go. So in total, I should be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls. If you don't like this mesh, you could use the burlap that they sell at Walmart, and I'm sure they sell it other places too, but I've seen it at Walmart, where they have, I believe it's 6 inches wide. I don't know the length of it, because I've actually never worked with it. But I have seen it, and I thought it's really cute, and it comes in all the colors of the rainbow. So you could, if you wanted purple perhaps, you could go and get some purple burlap and do this. You could probably also use just regular mesh, not necessarily the Dollar Tree mesh. Maybe you have some mesh from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, whatever craft store you have in your area that sells mesh, or maybe you purchase online. You could use that. If it's 6 inches wide, you won't have to cut it. You can just go ahead and do the same process. I'm using 3 yards in each section. If your mesh comes in more than 3 yard lengths, you may need to cut it. Or you could try, I don't know what yours necessarily would come in length, you could try using it and seeing how full it makes it. So you could kind of just customize this however you want. If you want it super full, use more mesh. If you don't, you could use less mesh. I'm going to just take another roll, unravel the entire thing, fold it, and then cut it in half. If I can find the end. There we go. I'm definitely going to have to vacuum after this because these little white dots are everywhere. Alright, so let's fold it in half. Find the halfway point and just cut it. One section out of the way for now, and the other one ready to go. With this wreath, instead of hanging it on my door or on the wall or anything like that, I've decided I want to mount it on something so that I can put it on a shelf or a windowsill. I looked around my craft space and I found that I had this piece from Big Lots. I think it was a couple of months ago. It was in its clearance section. And I want to say it was maybe $5, although I think it was less than that. And this piece was mounted to that so that it was one piece. I unscrewed these little baby screws from the back. Oh, right here. It was screwed in right there. I took the screws out and I'm left with this base. Now I will use this for something else, but not this project. And what I want to do is attach the wreath to this base so that it will stand up, and this is much lighter than this piece here, so it shouldn't be too difficult for this to stand and not tip over. In order to attach it, I'm going to flip over the wreath, and I'm going to take this top piece because it doesn't quite fit that piece to that piece. So I'm going to take the top piece here, and I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. I think we're going to try it. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner to go through this and wrap around the back, and then go through the wreath form there and go through it there. Now I'm going in like this bottom section and coming out on the other side of the wreath form. Oops, just pull that. So in like that, and you probably can hear my cat meowing because I'm not paying attention to him and I'm talking. And if you're a pet owner, you know if you're talking, you must be talking to them. There can't possibly be anyone else you're speaking to. So I'm going to pull that as tight as it will allow me to pull it. And I think I'm gonna wrap it. I'm just kind of winging it here. I'm just gonna wrap it through here, through this section, and out again, so that it's kind of wrapped around. Let's see if I can pull that tight. All right, let's try that for this side too. Let's see, how did I do that? I went around. My cat's name is Machi, and he's a cute little kitty cat. I think they just call him a tabby cat. I don't know that he is anything like a special breed or anything. He's just my kitty. He is very affectionate and very needy, and I'm not paying attention to him right now, so you know, it's the end of the world for him. And I didn't pull that tight enough when I was looping it. Let's see if I can get it to pull a little tighter. There we go. Let's see if that will hold, at least for that portion. Oh yeah, that's cute. I gotta do the bottom part or it's gonna tip over. So I think I'm gonna try to run this back through the same holes. Out the bottom. It'd be easier if I had thought to grab a pair of pliers and not try to stick my fingers in there. Now, if you don't have a base like this and you want to try to replicate this, you could probably build something using a piece of wood, maybe a dowel rod, like a skinny piece of wood here, and just securing a dowel rod on the center. And then you could kind of do what I'm doing and wing it and figure out what's the best way to connect it to one another for your specific needs. Through there. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough of this pipe cleaner to also wrap the bottom piece. All this red, you probably can't see it all. I'm having a hard time and I'm looking right at it. Maybe that'll work. Now, this isn't something that I'm trying to have as a permanent decoration. After the holiday, I might take it apart and reuse it in some other function. It's pretty cute though. Put it back down so you can kind of see it. And that's what it looks like.